Hi, everybody. Welcome to 14 Days of Manifestation. I am at a friend's house, and so I am actually really excited about today. We're not going to interview anybody today. We're going to talk about the law of attraction and manifestation. So we're going to give about a minute for everybody to join us who's out there. It's a wonderful time for me to talk a little bit about synchronicity and what's going on with life. And so let's look at that and see what we have going on with synchronicity in my life these days. It's been quiet, which is good, but the synchronicity happens in my life all day long. So it's really quite fascinating to see how the little things keep showing up. So to me, synchronicity is anytime something is aligning, right? So the interesting thing for that is sometimes an animal will cross my path, right? And it makes it very good morning. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. So, we have at weird times an animal will just cross your path. And when birds cross your path and you're driving, they usually fly this way, across, right? So when I am driving and all of a sudden a bird is flying and leading the way, I know it's speaking to me. And more often than not, if it's a white bird flying in front of me like that, it says to me that the spirit realm is speaking to me. And I had that experience on my way here today, and it was really magical. It was just a bunch of ibises, and several of them just flew right in front of the car leading the way, and it was really magical. So it gives me the opportunity to sit back and realize I had a very clear, sharp thought about my dad earlier today. Very sharp thought about my dad. And on the day that he died and I was driving over to see my mom, white birds led the way across the alley. So, putting two and two together here, it teaches me that today, or it says to me, it doesn't teach me, it says to me that my dad is with me. And that is a fabulous feeling. He and I were very close. So, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sign. Anyway, we're right at time where we can get started. So, I thought today I'd talk a little bit about the law of attraction and manifestation. A couple people have asked me, like, is there a difference? What is it? Law of attraction is the philosophy, the law. It's not just a philosophy to those of us who live it. It's a law of life. And it says that as long as we have an alignment between our intention, our heart, our experience, our mind, which is our thoughts, and our voice, which are the words, that we will create. It says that we are in a constant state of creation based upon the inner intentions, right? So the law of attraction says that what we put out, we're going to bring back. It doesn't mean that if we think it is. If we were really keyed into our magic, that would be the truth, that our thought would produce. But we're not. We're very unconscious as a race. So we can't think it and have it happen at this point. We have to have the alignment with the intention. And why? Because we have a lot of fear-based experiences in this experience of life. And so those fears will also manifest. So the law of attraction is going to tell us that what we put out comes back. And then manifestation is what we create from putting out that does come back. Is that clear? I hope. So as we look at that, we are creating an awareness of our ability to manifest based upon a truth in life, which is what we put out comes back. Now, if any of you have any questions as I talk, you'll see a little question mark at the very bottom of your Instagram. Please press that and put your questions in, and I will absolutely make sure I answer them. Anybody who has a thought or a comment that you want to interact with the show while I'm talking, please just put it in your comment box. I would love to hear from all of you, and I will respond. So as we look at manifesting over these 14 days, we are sitting in the context of the law of attraction. And the law of attraction, since it does say that whatever we are and whatever we put out is going to come back, I'm sorry, please, miscellaneous noise, let it go into your minds and back out again. So as you look at the fear in your life, something that you hesitate doing or something that you're fearful of or uncomfortable with, then you know that there's a fear behind that. And whatever that fear is, look around you. See if you're manifesting it. So you've heard us over the last 3 interviews talk a little bit about doubt, Our guest Valentina spoke very clearly about doubt. We talked about meditation and putting that clear mind into manifesting, and that was Danny. And you heard us talk about vision boards versus to-do lists at the very, very beginning, and that was Charlene. And so in each of those, we talked about the difference between manifesting what we wish for and what we don't wish for. But what we don't wish for is very important in this life. That's where mastery comes in. And so what we don't wish for are the challenges that we, at a much higher level and before we came into this life, we chose to experience. And now we're here and we have a choice, again, free will, to either master those challenges, ignore them, and push them down, which means we're going to live them, or to just suffer in them blatantly. So again, if you're hearing the noises in the background, please let them come in and go out. I'm very sorry. So it really is important to understand what your challenges are, what the doubts are, what the old beliefs are. If you're seeing patterns in your life, same relationship over and over again, certain things happening over and over again in your life, those happenings are because there are challenges in your life that are ready to heal or be mastered. You can do one or the other, or both, because healing is part of mastery, right? So ask yourself where you're at there, right? And then that becomes a bit of synchronicity, which you hear me talk about all the time. So if you're seeing something happen over and over and over again, that's life saying to you, okay, it's your turn to either heal this or live with it. But it's part of this existence and part of this experience that you chose to have. So it goes back to the law of attraction, right? What we create. And that law of attraction says it's all energy. Of course, our soul, which inhabits this body, is all energy, and it is the energy that drives this train called the body. And so we know that we're constantly speaking to life, but we aren't so conscious of that. And so we want to be conscious of that, as conscious as we can be. Okay, so we're looking at the law of attraction as a truth about life. We're looking at free will, which also plays into the law of attraction. And you've heard me mention a couple times in the energy that we have a free will before we enter. And so that free will before we enter kind of sets the play stage of this life. It kind of says what we come here to experience overall. But remember, even though we make a choice at a higher level to come in and have an experience, once we get here, we have free will as well. So we can master, we can move forward in ways that move beyond what that original intent was, because we're always in alignment with our souls and our soul energy, our higher self. So with the law of attraction, as you start to see things that you really wish to experience in this life, you can master those fears and doubts that are getting in the way. You can write the new chapter. You can turn the page, right? Make a greater ending for yourself. You can do whatever you want to do as long as you believe. And so sorry, it sounds like a song, but it's true. As long as you can truly believe in yourself, in your life, then the law of attraction will work in favor of what you truly dream. Where you doubt, where you're fearful, where you don't believe, you will manifest a challenge over and over and over again. This is why every day seems so similar to the day before, and the next day is going to seem so similar to the day we're in, because we hold it steady with how we manifest, right? So if the law of attraction says that we bring forward what we are experiencing, then because of our general fear of change and general fear of the unknown, we hold things steady. And so life seems very predictable day after day after day after day, where in truth, what's happening is our own fear of change or the unknown is kind of holding things steady, right? And for some people, it really is a Groundhog's Day, because they're not ready to read how life is speaking to them, saying, okay, you want to get this right. You want to really get down to that truth inside you that is nothing but love and freedom, because at that point, your manifestations are nothing but your dream, right? So that's our goal. And that's the difference between law of attraction and how we see it operating in our everyday life versus manifestation, which is putting the law of attraction into motion so that we can absolutely have the dream life that we choose to have. So again, for all of you listening, if you have questions that you would like to send to me, please hit that question button below, and I will recap while you're putting in your questions, just so you have a little bit of time. We really are living souls that inhabit the physical body, right? It's kind of like the way we drive a car. A body has to drive the car, the soul has to drive the body. Well, the soul operates with the law of attraction. It operates in an energetic field that is in a constant state of attracting. And so when we start to become more and more conscious and more aware of that energetic self, of that truth of who we are, then our manifestations will align more and more with what we dream and what we think. Until then, our fear and our doubts and our hesitations will either influence or create what we manifest, because the law of attraction is a consistent energy that flows as a truth of this existence. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me. I'll give just a pause of a few seconds while any other questions are typed in. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. And please join me every day at noon for another little tidbit of manifestation as we move towards the winter solstice, where we will be on the most powerful manifestation day, because it is the shortest day of the year with the longest night of the year. And the way that goes is, as the light starts to pour in day after day after the winter solstice, that light coming in is just fertilizing your dreams, right? You plant a seed in the dark soil, but the sunlight just gives the nourishment necessary to grow the seed. So that is what we're going to do on winter solstice. So these 14 days of manifestation are leading us up to a day of magic that opens us to a season of magic that will go from winter solstice on the 21st all the way through the month of January. Thank you all for joining me. I so appreciate all of you, and may all of your dreams come true. Until next time, bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining me, and please visit KristenBomas.com, where you can easily access all of my social circles.